Mm-hmm. Cute little bird in the hand. Polly want a cracker? In this case, Larry wants a fish. I know there's tilapia in the freezer, boss. Hello everybody, Sparkster1701 here. And today we're taking a look at a Legacy Evolution figure, one that I managed to scare up at a recent toy show. This is Beachcomber. Beachcomber, of course, is from the Generation 1 era, as we have right here, his Generation 1 counterpart. Tires on mine are starting to permanently warp here on this one. Oh well, what do you expect from out of nearly 40 years of rubber? But at any rate, a little bit of background detail on Beachcomber. He functioned as a geologist for the Autobots, so that gave him a rather unique role, as geologists are known for the study of rocks and minerals, and basically their placement and such. So, a lot of their work can go into determining the locations of suitable land for building, as well as areas to be used for underground work like mines and such. So, Beachcomber did play an interesting role, and was one of the early pacifist characters featured with the Transformers. Beachcomber made a handful of appearances in the Generation 1 cartoon. He was voiced by veteran actor Alan Oppenheimer, who has had a long career throughout Hollywood. He had made several appearances in various live-action projects, notably Star Trek, various Star Treks. And I do know that he did make an early appearance in Knight Rider. However, he's best known for a lot of his voice acting work, since in the Transformers, not only was he Beachcomber, but he also voiced Breakdown, Warpath, and Sea Spray, among a few other minor roles. However, he's more known for being in one of the rival series to the Transformers, He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, where Oppenheimer voiced Merman, Man-at-Arms, and of course, Skeletor. So, quite an interesting run here. Alright, let's get old Beachcomber here out of the way, so we can take more of a look at the modern version. It does play off well to the Generation 1 aesthetic, and of course adds a few things from the cartoon. So we at least get one that's semi-cartoon accurate. But of course his little companion here is meant to be a character from the cartoon. This is the Paradise Parakeet, which was featured in one of the animated episodes. We'll start by looking at the accessories, starting with looking at the Paradise Parakeet. He's made of a soft plastic, so he will bend and give a bit. And he has this black protrusion here at the bottom, so it can be used to pose him inside Beachcomber's fist, like I had shown, but he can also plug in to some posts like these on his shoulders, and basically sit there next to his head. Kind of almost like a pirate motif. But of course, since there's also some open spots on the vehicle, it also means that the bird can be placed on the vehicle as well. Rather interesting little choice. And then, of course, as well, we have Beachcomber's gun. Which is a nice addition since Beachcomber's G1 toy did not come with a gun. And as you can see here on the one side, it does have a little bit of a grill on it like a vehicle would, because the gun can be stored on Beachcomber's alternate mode and serve as a grill or as a weapon, however you want to choose. Alright, now let's take a look at Beachcomber's articulation, and he has about what you would expect for a deluxe class figure. The head can be turned from side to side, but as you can see, not by very much, so it is a little less. His shoulder areas keep getting in the way, but his head is on a small ball joint, so it will look up and down. You can raise his arms up only about so far, because again, the shoulders and the tire get in the way. But you can rotate them all the way around at the shoulder. His arms do bend at the elbow a little bit better than 90 degrees, and he does have a swivel at the bicep, so he has G.I. Joe style battle grip. He can be twisted slightly at his hips, so he does have some dance moves going for him. Get his arms all out of the way, and his legs can do a full splits. He does have a great thigh cut. You can bend his leg at the hip 90 degrees, and you can bend him at the knee 90 degrees. So all in all, he does have only slightly poorer articulation than a standard deluxe figure. Alright, let's get ready to transform Beachcomber. For starters, we turn him around to the back side. You'll come down here to the backs of his feet, and you're going to lower them down. And then after we do that, we'll open up these panels here on the backs of his legs. And we come up here to his back, and we're going to take this bar, and we fold it up as far up as you can get it to go, so it's up and out of the way. Then we'll come down here and we'll press his legs together. And then you'll pull the body up so that way his head will shrink inside, like you'd expect out of a turtle. Then we'll come here and we fold his legs up at the knee. Spread his arms out a little bit so they don't get in the way. And have them rest against the body. Then we come in here, you'll raise up this bar that was on his feet. Try to keep it together, mine got separated. And of course, make sure the seats are resting against his feet. Then we'll get this back bar, raise it up, and attach it to the other bars. Just the body is necessary to get it to fit. Then his arms are going to rest right in here. You'll see right here, just above the elbow, there's a post, and it should line up with the hole underneath his shoulder. Plus, of course, he's got another post here down by his hand, and that should go into this hole right there by my thumbnail on his feet. Again, adjust the body's position as necessary so that you can work this in. And then, of course, once that's done, we come back to the underside and we close these panels off. And then there you have it. Beachcomber is in his alternate mode, which, while many have suggested that this is a dune buggy, in all actuality, the Generation 1 version was inspired by an actual military vehicle. Because right here is the Gen 1 version. Generation 1 version was based off of the M1040 Chenoweth Hellfire fast attack vehicle, which was obviously a popular vehicle with Hasbro because they used it in G.I. Joe for the creation of their Awe Striker. Which, while I don't have a real Awe Striker here, I do have this replica one that I built out of Legos. Get it out of the way here for a second, because we got to show off things with Beachcomber. So as I said, you could attach the weapon onto him. You do have a couple of options with that. There is enough space, as it shows in the instructions, between the grip and the rest of the gun that it can be mounted onto the roll cage, and you can have it as a weapon. Kind of mounting it similarly to the cannon here on the Awe Striker. I don't know if they intended that, if that was intentional or not, but it kind of almost makes Beachcomber an Awe Striker. Which kind of shows that Hasbro put the wrong guy in it for their crossover. The Awe Striker shouldn't have become Bumblebee, it should have become Beachcomber. And of course, you can also use this side-mounted post on the gun, plug it into this hole here in the front, and then you have a front bumper. Again, almost similarly to what we have here on the Awe Striker. And then, of course, there's a couple of holes here right next to the tires. Not exactly the best place, but the Paradise Parakeet can be positioned in one of those, and he can go for a ride. So, kind of a neat, nifty little idea. It's one of the few that Hasbro seemed to have done a rather decent job with. Alright, so now we get down to my thoughts. Beachcomber has always been an interesting character for me. I've had the Generation 1 toy for ages now. As you can probably tell from the way it looks, it's seen a lot of adventure in its time. So I was excited to see that we got a new version of Beachcomber, despite the fact that there have been several of them done over the years in between. But it's still nice to see that they bring back a classic and, in a lot of cases, sometimes forgotten Generation 1 character. As many of them that were brought in of the smaller Transformer toys from the G1 era have often been forgotten about. Especially after the events of the 1986 animated film. The early cartoon series did a lot to characterize many of the characters. And the second wave of them that came out in '85, like Beachcomber, also got prominent roles in the cartoon due to the fact that they were so diverse compared to the original group. The first 6 that we got in '84, they all became cars. Once '85 came around, we got Beachcomber as a military assault vehicle, Warpath was a tank, Sea Spray was a hovercraft, and then you add to it, we had Cosmos, a UFO, and Powerglide, an attack plane. But unfortunately, as the years have gone on, especially since none of them made an appearance in the '86 animated film, many of them have become forgotten over the years. So it's nice to see that Hasbro is bringing some of them back into the limelight. And the addition of the Paradise Parakeet helps tie it into the Generation 1 cartoon. Since for a lot of these toy lines from the '80s, they wouldn't be near as successful or as fondly remembered if it wasn't for their cartoon forms. So, it's good to see something done with a reference to its classic cartoon, and the figure is done rather well. So, I do hope in the future they will continue to make some more of them. At any rate, that's my look at the Legacy Evolution version of Beachcomber. I hope you all enjoyed it. And please do remember that if you like the content you see here on this channel, I would appreciate a like, share, comment, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. This is Sparkster1701. Larry and I are going to go out and hit some dunes. So, we'll catch you all later.